Ma'am, am I audible?
Good evening, students. Am I audible and visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
If there is any student, kindly tell me if I'm audible and visible to all of you.
ஆன்ல தானே இருக்கு. இது ஆன்ல இருக்கு. எனக்கு தெரியல. Ma'am, am I audible? கேக்குதா? கேக்கல.
Okay. Have all the students come to the center?
Ma'am, I was unable to go to
Ma'am,
the center.
கேக்குதா? சே தமிழ் தெரியாது, ma'am. Am I audible?
I didn't get you louder.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Ma'am, am I audible? Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I cannot understand what are you saying. Can somebody repeat in a bit slower pace?
Ma'am, can you?
I
Mic
can hear
problem,
you.
ma'am.
I can hear you, but I cannot understand. Right, but now I got it that I think I can hear you, but why the cameras are not open? Why it is necessary for me to tell you every day that please start your cameras? Okay. So I can see 3 students in the classroom, and Amrisha has joined, but
Yes,
video
ma'am,
is
I'll
not
on it.
visible. Hmm?
Ma'am?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, nothing, ma'am.
Okay. So should we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody having any doubts, or were you able to go through whatever we did yesterday?
No doubts, ma'am.
Okay, great. So to begin with, we did some part of we picked up the first chapter. We studied till mole concept. We ran through, I will say, because we just have to revise, as all of you were aware of whatever rules are there. So, so the day's task is to discuss or to do some more numerical based on mole concept, Dalton's. Then we will move to Dalton's atomic theory, compare it to modern atomic theory, percentage composition, whatever we can finish up today, right? Rest we will take up in tomorrow's and the following day's class. Now, have you heard about the term what is STP? Yesterday, see, yesterday when
Standard temperature, pressure.
what is its value? Because nobody asked me that, or nobody asked me yesterday. Why? When you have to solve the question, you have to put the values in STP. What is the use of STP? Why do we have STP?
Ma'am, STP is like a standard at which we measure every gas.
Not only gas, I'll say for everything it can be theoretically done. But what is the need of STP?
Ma'am, to like, ma'am, the size of gas, like with the volume change, the volume changes depending on the temperature and pressure, ma'am. So if you have a standard temperature and pressure, it's like it's equal.
Okay. What about the rest of the students? Do you agree with him or not?
Ma'am, they agree, ma'am.
Okay. See, what we are trying to say here is that whenever you compare 2 persons, when teacher wants to evaluate your performance, what do? They give you the same syllabus, same conditions that everyone has to appear for let's say a class test of 10 marks, right? Similarly, when we have to compare quantities, we must have a standard condition, right? And they found it as, they call it as a standard temperature and pressure. As you write, yeah.
Sorry, ma'am, I was writing the physics test. Just 2 minutes.
I didn't get.
I just came now, ma'am.
Okay. Chitesh, you have just joined. Yeah, I guess.
Did I miss anything?
No, you haven't missed anything. I was just saying that yesterday we did the chapter 1 till mole concept almost, and then
Yes.
we are moving. And we talked about we said 1 mole has to be measured at 22.4.
22.4.
And it has to be measured at STP. So what is
Okay.
STP?
Standard
Right.
temperature and pressure.
Standard temperature and pressure, it is required so that we can compare the quantities. Suppose your teacher evaluates you, 1 student out of 20, other student out of 30, and she gives entirely different paper to both the students, then there cannot be any comparison, right? So to make a comparison, we must have standardized conditions. So that is the reason whenever you see any recipe or your mom or anybody telling you to cook something, they give you the measures. Ki take 1 glass of water. Everyone has a standard glass at their home, right? So the value of a standard temperature and pressure is,
Plus
the value
Ma'am,
is, yeah,
22.4 liters.
I didn't get you.
22.4 liters.
Temperature, what is the standard temperature there? We are not talking about the
0
volume as
degrees.
of 0 degrees. And what about the pressure?
1 pascal.
Okay. See, as you can see here, I have put down the data very from an authentic site. How do we define STP? We have to say it in terms of 0 degrees centigrade. Although when we are solving the numericals of ideal gas equation and van der Waals equation, we may be using 273 Kelvin as and where required. But we must, if somebody asks me to define it, it must be in terms of degree Celsius, that is 0 degrees Celsius. Is it clear? For the purpose of definition, it will always be 0 degrees Celsius, right? And the pressure you may be using in tar or whatever unit it is appropriate. When you are solving a numerical, all of us understand that all the units must be in a same units. Yeah, right. Either CGS or MKS. I think that makes sense to all of us. But when you are defining something, it has to be 1 atmospheric pressure and 0 degree centigrade. Whenever somebody asks you what is 1 STP, then the answer is expected to be 0 degrees Celsius, not 273 or 273.15 to be precise. Is it clear to all of us?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Please remember it, because whenever they may give you MCQ based on this concept. All of us know the use. Some of you, as I told yesterday also, that who is good at mathematics, loves physics, will be enjoying that. But this type of a question we can expect. The last line says that STP is the volume of a container is always going to be 22.4 liters. All right. Now, talking about 0 degrees centigrade, how feasible is it? Like we say, is it attainable at room under the normal circumstances?
Not possible. I mean,
Not
exactly
possible.
0 degrees is not possible. Below
It
that
is
or
possible.
above that is.
See, you have a refrigerator, you have ice cream vendors and ice cream shops.
Ma'am,
They
even
maintain
though perfectly 0 degrees hard, it's not like very.
yeah, that is correct. See, what I mean to say is that I think you might have visited any cafe or caves where the temperature is 0 or sub-zero. As Jitesh was rightly saying that it exactly 0 degrees centigrade, too difficult to maintain. If it is 30 degree, 40 degree, we can easily maintain it. That whenever the temperature is say 40 and above, we switch on the ACs and room coolers and fans, etc. 0 degrees centigrade and working in that. Somehow, if you prepare a room, first of all, it will be too expensive, right? The second thing is that working into it. Have you seen the back end of how do you get the data at your end? Like me and you are able to connect. We are living at 1,000 kilometers apart from each other. But the people, I think it is called as GPS or something like that, that packets of data are being transferred. These rooms are chilled. Believe me, sometimes I have to take a class for international student in a studio where actually the temperature is 0 degree. And then writing on the board or putting your hand on the keys is practically very difficult. So that is the reason. The more appropriate reason is it can be achieved, but human body cannot work at 0 degree. What is the purpose of STP? You want to perform various reactions, right? You want to conclude or sometimes conclude or verify a particular law. Sometimes you have to find a new thing, you want to discover something. So that is practically not feasible. So what the scientists said, at times you will hear another term which is called as NTP. Now, can anybody tell me what is NTP?
Normal temperature and pressure.
What is its value, Chitesh?
Ma'am, 27 degrees Celsius and 1 degree, 1 atmospheric pressure. 1 Pascal
26.
or 270. No, 27 degrees.
Okay. I'll tell you, they take it as 20 degrees centigrade. The only thing is that is, these are the workable conditions. 20 degree, neither too hot, neither too cold, right? So they say that this is the working condition of air. We live and we survive in the atmosphere of air, right? So what we have to do, we have to think in terms of air. So 20 degrees Celsius of temperature for air is pretty manageable. So NTP, if somebody says it is 20 degree Celsius and pressure still remains 1 atmosphere. These are the workable conditions. If you have to compare the properties of two gases, then you should operate in the condition of a temperature as 20 degree Celsius, right? So that was about STP and NTP. You may hear a term SATP, something like that. But please don't go into those details. Even if you are preparing for your entrance exams, we don't require them. We will be functional between STP and NTP at max. People will be asking, or the examiners will be asking only about the STP, right? Now, we need to understand I will just quickly run through these slides just to ensure that the concept of mole is inbuilt into you, because we have to carry this concept from class 11 to class 12, right? When we say 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, it is a big number. Imagine after 10 putting 23 zeros there, right? Which can be atom, molecule, ions, or electron. This is a simple reading of that which we have done. 1 mole of sodium. The purpose of showing you this again is that you become familiar with the atomic masses or molecular masses of certain substances. For sodium, you must remember it is 23. For ammonia, sodium will have atomic mass because we are talking about an element. Ammonia is a compound, NH3. So it will be 17 grams. 14 for nitrogen, and there are 3 hydrogen, each having 1 U or 1 AMU. So making it as 17 grams, right? Then if I talk about the particles, again, please remember, don't confuse with weight as we do it in daily life. 1 mole of sodium, that is 23 grams, will have same number of particles against these 17 grams. 23 and 17 cannot be compared, but both of them for sure are going to have only Avogadro number of particles. Any doubts to anyone?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No doubts, ma'am.
Okay. This is Avogadro's law, which we understand, but we have not till now put in a frame of a definition or under a law. Under the same condition of temperature and pressure. Now, if I replace this word same by similar, what will be the difference? Will it remain same? Now I want to strike out this word same, and instead of it, I want to write similar. Or let's put it this way, that a student has written same and another has written similar. Will both of them get 1 mark or not?
It depends on your mood, ma'am. If you want to give 1 marks, you can give 1 marks.
It depends on, after that I'm unable to understand what you said. Please repeat, dear
It
student.
depends on how you correct. If you want to give 1 marks, you can give 1 marks. Or if you want, no, you just go. Or if he just messes with you around.
No.
No 0 marks.
See, Chitesh, it is not that easy. It doesn't work on my whims and fancies. CBSE, when we go for correction of copies, you are given a standard answers there. I'll share the screenshot one day with you. When I
I
go
was
to
just, I was just joking.
I understand. Sometimes it's good to crack a joke in the class when it becomes too heavy. They give you I tell you, they give you the answer key. Exactly what keywords, if the student has written. If the student has written that particular keyword, you have to mark him you have to grant him the marks. So same and similar are different. Same means that I'm saying that I am comparing two gases. Let's say N2 and O2. If I'm saying same means I am comparing both of them at, let's say, 100 degrees Celsius. Now, if I'm saying similar, I may be using 100 degree for one, 105 degree for other one. Because 100 and 105 will not make much of the difference. So at times we need to be very careful with the selection of words when we are asked to write the definition, right? This time you will be at the end of the chapter, you will be having a subjective objective test. But I'll discuss with sir if we can have a subjective test also. Because in the schools, you will be having a paper where subjective and objective, both type of questions will be there. And I haven't finalized the paper. Given a chance, I will just replace or I will just ask one or two definitions from the chapter itself. Because that is a standard pattern of CBSE also, right? So we are clear about what Avogadro's law. We know it, but it is just a question of how do we put it. There will always be certain basic definition in all subjects, let that be physics, chemistry, or maths, which we must not only understand to an extent. If you say you can cram it, if you're not too sure about the words there or the choice of your words, so you must put them in a correct way. This I have explained to you that 1 mole can be related to anybody and everybody out of these 4, right? Now we will do some questions. This is an interesting fact. Do you know this? What is a mole day? Mole day is celebrated on October 23rd because it's a 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. This is the 10th month, right? And 23rd October from 6:02 a.m. to 6:02 p.m. of the next day. That's just sometime because mole concept is a very abstract concept. So just to inform you, if you become a member of any scientific society, American journal, you will come to know about such informations, right? Molar mass, all of us know. This is an example. Now, from now onwards, I will never tell you the atomic mass of sodium or chlorine. I will appreciate all of us understand. And yesterday in the class, I told you that for sulfuric acid, 98, nitric acid, 63, ammonia, 17, CO2, 44, it must be on your tips now. Add this one to that. 23 plus 35.5, it has to be 58.5. I don't want any one of you to spend even a second on finding the molecular mass or molar mass of sodium chloride, right? Now, let us do certain questions. Number of moles in 40 grams of calcium carbonate. Again, calcium carbonate molecular mass must, after today's class, it must be in that list and to be remembered by each one of you. Do you know the atomic mass of calcium?
Yes, ma'am.
It is what?
Atomic mass of calcium, 40.
Yeah, 40. If you do not know, please remember that now. Calcium is 40, carbon is 12, oxygen is 16.
16.
Okay.
I'm 0.4 moles.
0 point? Okay, anybody else? Who gave me that answer? I couldn't see you.
Ma'am, me.
Hmm?
Ma'am, Raghav.
Okay. Okay, rest of the class. What is the molecular mass of calcium carbonate? Amrisha, what have you found?
Atomic mass of calcium is
atomic mass.
40.
Yeah, atomic mass of calcium is 40. Carbon is 12.
Zero.
Oxygen is 16. So what is the molecular mass of calcium carbonate?
Ma'am, 100 atomic units.
Yeah, that's correct. Who has not got it as 100? Anyone who has difficulty in telling and finding it out, please let me know. The first step is, see, should I explain or should I wait for a minute?
Ma'am, 100.
Anybody who has not got it as 100? It will be equal to 40 plus 12 plus 3 into 16. If you solve it, you will get 100. Now, what I have given and what I have asked, whosoever has not understood, I'm explaining it to you. It means how many gram, what is the two relationship which I should be picking? We have learned 1 mole is equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. It is equal to, since it is calcium carbonate, I will be putting it as molecular weight in grams, and it is equal to 22.4 liters. So whenever you are solving a question, please find what are the two relationship. You can see the 4 quantities are equated to each other. What are the two things which you are going to pick? So what are you going to pick? I will say I have asked for the number of moles. So 1 mole, and I have given grams. So that means I have to use this particular thing. That 1 mole is equal to molecular weight in grams. So what does that? Now now everybody should be able to solve this question. I'm asking specifically from each one of you. Jitesh, have you solved it? What is your answer?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
Ma'am.
After this point, we just have to do the unitary method. So Jitesh, I'm waiting for your response.
Ma'am, 1 minute. Ma'am. I'm stuck with the unitary method.
I think all of you know what is unitary methods.
4 moles.
Okay. Any other answer from the rest of the team?
No, no, 0.4 moles. 0.4 moles.
Yeah.
I added an extra 0. I mean, I didn't add an extra 0.
That is what I'm saying. The reason some of you may find that it is waste of a time, and we know everything, but it is a practice which makes us perfect. Not saying anything to Jitesh in a specific. I'm saying it to all of you, right? You have to write it. So I'll move ahead and show you the solution. It was simple, or rather I say that was a oral question to me. We know that molecular mass of calcium carbonate is 100 grams, as you can see here, right? So what you have to do? You have selected the relationship. Molar mass is equal to 1 mole. So according to that, 100 grams is equal to 1 mole. So 40 grams will be equal to 40 by 100, that is 0.4. Is it clear to all of you? The students at the learning center,
Yes,
can
ma'am.
you just, anybody having any doubt? Please ask me, otherwise mole concept will become a pain area for every time. Not only for this session, but not this class, this year and next year also. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Now let's do another question. Mass in grams for 0.5 moles of carbon dioxide. Again, I'm telling you the trick that please, first of all, find the molecular mass and then think logically, what is the two identities, what are the two identities rather, which you must be using out of those four.
Ma'am, 25 grams.
Who is this? Who is saying 25 grams?
Ma'am, Raghav.
Raghav. How do you get that 25 grams? Just explain the steps to me.
Ma'am, the atomic mass of CO2 is CO2 is 12 plus 16 plus 16 equals 30 equals 50. So
What-
molecular
Wait. Carbon is 12. Oxygen is 16 plus 16. And how does it, what does it come out as?
ma'am, miscalculation.
Hmm?
1 minute, ma'am.
See, I'll give you 2 extra
Ma'am,
minutes.
22 grams.
32 grams.
22.
22. Okay. So how you were getting 32 grams earlier, Raghav?
Ma'am, not 32, 22.
Yeah,
Two,
but
two.
earlier I heard you saying 32.
Ma'am, 44 divided by 2 equals 20. So 22
Yeah.
grams, not 32.
Okay. Amrisha, what are you doing? At what step you are?
Got the answer.
Got the answer. To me, it was a very, very easy question. Again, CO2 has to be added to your that list. Molecular mass of carbon dioxide is 44. It is pretty straightforward. 14 plus 32, right? So and again, what we have to choose? We have to choose two identities, moles and molecular mass. 44 grams is equal to 1 mole, so half will be equal to 22 grams. Pretty straightforward, right? There was no need for this elaboration. Okay. Moving on, this question. Volume occupied by 8 grams of nitrogen at STP. What happened, Chitesh? Why are you so happy now?
Physics paper. It was very easy and physics test, ma'am. It was very easy and I forgot that title.
Physics test is easier than the chemistry test.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No, I like physics, ma'am. Physics is cool. Chemistry,
Okay.
I have to put my brain to work. Physics, it just comes.
Yeah, I do understand. But somehow I never enjoyed physics. I enjoyed biology rather than chemistry.
But I like theoretical physics. Applied
You?
physics is very hard. No
I
mathematics.
didn't,
No mathematics. No mathematics for me. So it's theoretical physics.
yeah. That was the reason I did PhD in chemistry, not in biology. This is this at this point of time in life for all of you. We may like a subject, we may not like a subject, but we have to perform equally well in all the subjects, so as to have a good or a great grades. The subject we love, that will require lesser efforts, and the other subject will require more effort, right? So anybody at this learning center other than Raghav needs to tell me what is the answer. Okay, let's do it step by step. What is the molecular mass of nitrogen? Will it be atomic mass or molecular mass? First of all, the first question, will we be considering atomic mass or molecular mass?
Atomic mass.
Why?
Because the atomic mass of nitrogen is 14 AMU. So
See, when I write I think it's Raghav, I will say when I am writing nitrogen, it is a debatable thing. What should I choose? Who has chosen nitrogen and who has chosen N and who has chosen N2? Tell me that quickly.
Ma'am, can you repeat that again?
Some people might have taken, or some of the students might have taken nitrogen as N, atomic nitrogen. Some of you might have taken as N2. I need to understand who has taken N and who has taken N2 and why.
Ma'am, I accidentally took N.
See, we are student of science. We cannot be doing the accidents. See, I will answer this question for all of you. If this question was for sulfur, what should we have what we would have considered? Yesterday we revised that atomicity of sulfur is 8 and that of phosphorus is 4. That was the reason of putting the question here. The substances in whatever physical state or form they exist are written here, right? Or
Yes,
taken
ma'am.
during the question. So nitrogen exists as N or N2.
And N2.
So what should we take in?
N2.
N2. What about carbon? How does it exist? It exists as C, atomic carbon, right? If instead of carbon, somebody tells me diamond, then it will be the same thing. Diamond and carbon, one of the allotropes of carbon, diamond, graphite, fullerene, so they will be existing as carbon. Helium exists as He, an monoatomic substance. Chlorine exists as Cl2. Is this point clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If the teacher has deliberately not written the formula, I could have written N or N2. But the purpose, see, I have not taken up the random questions. Every question has a learning into it. So the question has to be solved with 28 grams of nitrogen, not 14, right? If I have to get the to ask you to solve the question of on 14 grams of nitrogen, I would have put the symbol as N only or written as atomic nitrogen. So again, the first rule of the question paper, read the question paper carefully. Who has done with 28 grams? Anyone? Okay, Amrisha, you have done. But again, no logic, just like that.
I actually did with 14 only.
Huh?
I did with 14 only, ma'am. I actually.
You have answered with 14. Okay. Honesty is good. Anyone who has done it with 28 and knows the reason also.
Reasons why, like any specific words that indicate that we have to take N2, not. I mean, we have to take the it's like
Yeah.
N2 and not
Yeah,
N2.
that is what I was trying to tell you, Jitesh and all of you, that if I have written nitrogen, I mean the state in which it exists. Had I written sulfur, right, I meant S8. If I have to get the one sulfur, I would have written calculate the volume occupied by 8 gram of atomic nitrogen or atomic sulfur. If I have not written anything, or the teacher has, or the examiner has not written anything, it simply means we want you to calculate the on the basis of the substance, how it exists, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is the answer?
Ma'am, I got one answer, but I don't know if it's right or wrong. 6.72 liters.
6 point?
6.72 liters.
Okay. I will say what you have to use two things. The one thing you have to equate atomic mass against the 22.4 liters. Verbally, what we can say, 28 grams will be equal to 22.4 liters. Therefore, 8 grams will be equal to how much? Isn't it? Again, I tell you the trick is, see, to solve the questions on mole concept, let it be a difficult or the easy, identify the two things which you have to equate. As I was telling you that what you have to do, you have to equate molar mass with volume. Molar mass was 28, volume is 22.4 liters. And then it is simply unitary method. 28 grams is equal to 22.4 liters. So 8 grams will be equal to this what? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
At learning room, I have many students. So I'll appreciate if you can individually respond to me, or just if anyone has a doubt, anyone who has not understood. Okay, let's do another question. The number of water molecules present in a drop of water weighing 0.018 grams is?
Option B.
I think it has to be pretty straightforward and a very easy question to do. If we know 18 grams is the molecular mass of water molecule. So 18 grams will be equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. And since I am giving you the options, mass is reduced, right? 0.018. So that means 6.023 into 23 cannot be the answer. Similarly, 6.023 into 25 can also not be the answer because it is higher, right? So the best answer will be B. The purpose of putting an MCQ, I think I have one more MCQ on the PPT, is, see, there is no, you must not start calculating the answer. Use some logic, right? That you have to, nobody has asked you to calculate. They have done the calculation. They just want you to pick the correct answer in minimum time. If you have to solve this question, it will take you 1 minute or 1.5 minutes. But if you logically look at the options, it will be taking a fraction of, let's say, 20 seconds in it. Am I right or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So do questions on their merits. Examiners, as Jitesh was saying, how's paper is changed, I'll tell you how paper is made. The examining body asks the teachers to collect, to share their expected questions. And from that, there is an examination committee, they pick up the question. And then the teachers are made to solve those questions. On the basis of that, they decide this question paper, this question will come, this will not come. How many, that is how they design the 3 hours paper for us, right? Now, coming to this question, just
Ma'am,
read it and
No, no. Ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am.
I tell you, it may have more than one correct answer.
Ma'am, option A.
Who said that?
Ma'am, Raghav.
Okay. I'll give you half a minute to read it. I say these questions, this question can be sorted with the elimination method. 1 mole of water corresponds to the following, right? 1 gram, the option B, will not be a correct answer under any circumstances, right? Because molecular mass of water is 18 grams. So A is correct. Now talking about the C one, B is incorrect. Talking about C, do you think is it correct or not?
No, ma'am,
Or-
because there is 2
No, ma'am.
hydrogen present, so
Yeah,
that should be
that is
twice.
correct, Raghav. Since it has the formula of water is H2O, which is written there. So it has to be 2 into 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. And oxygen, since only 1 oxygen is there, it will be 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 atoms of oxygen. Anybody having any doubts about it?
No doubts, ma'am.
Okay. Chidesh, is everything fine now? You're unsettling
Yes,
here
ma'am.
and there. What happened?
That's nothing, ma'am. Just my brother.
Hmm?
A brother coming here and there, ma'am. That's nothing, ma'am.
Okay, just request them politely to give you some peace or
I
to
pushed him off the
concentrate.
room, ma'am. Kicked
Yeah,
him out.
yeah, so that you can concentrate and on the subject which you don't like much.
It's not like they don't like much, ma'am. I got a centum last year in 10th standard.
Okay. So the purpose of making you do these questions was to understand the mole concept basics, how to solve, how to approach any question. I'll again appreciate if all of you can go back to your 9th standard book and do more practice, right? I think you will not find any of these questions in your 9th standard CBSE books. So it was again, I tell you to make it an inbuilt in your mind that out of 4 equities, choose the 2 which have to be equated. And why I am emphasizing to be perfect in mole concept is the next topic when we go to stoichiometry. For stoichio, mole has to be like bread and butter or staple food, whatever you eat, right? You have to know them and you have to be thoroughly practiced in them. Moving to Dalton's theory, is it clear to all of you? If yes,
ma'am.
then you have to tell me the 4 or 5 points of, or just remind me if we have done it earlier also or not.
Atom is indivisible. It can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. Atom of a given element have identical size, mass, and chemical property. Atom of different element have different size, mass, and chemical properties. Atoms combine in fixed ratio to form a whole compound.
Very good. What's your name? I forgot. I can recognize you.
Ritika, ma'am.
Ritika. Okay. The answer is correct. Now, see, we must understand this. Remember that we will be comparing it with the modern atomic theory in a moment. Dalton atomic theory says all forms of matter, me, you, your book, your laptop, your mobile, everything, the water you drink, the food we eat, everything is made up of atoms. So atom is the smallest entity, which is or we can say it is a building block of matter. As Ritika correctly said, that atoms of one element are similar in size, shape, and all the other properties. Properties means physical as well as chemical properties. The third, they say atom can neither be created nor destroyed. Then atoms of different elements combine in a fixed simple whole number ratio because they cannot be divided into parts. They combine in a whole number ratio. Like you can have one piece of a bread or half a piece of a bread or even 1/4 piece of a bread, but atom cannot be participating in a chemical reaction. Half reaction cannot participate in a chemical reaction, right? But against it, what do we know as of today? Is modern atomic theory in alignment with what Dalton told us? We'll take them one by one. The first point, all matter is composed of extremely small particles called as atoms. Yes, we agree to it. Modern atomic theory agrees with it. Now, atoms of given element are the second point. This they have ruled out. They say it is incorrect. Atoms of a given element are identical in size, mass, and other properties. Can somebody suggest me why we do say so? Why we are not putting a correct mark on it? What is the discovery which has made the modern scientists to believe that it is incorrect? We discussed in the first class about those things. What were the isotopes? Or
Ma'am, I
what?
couldn't get you.
See, Chitesh, I said I have put a cross mark on this, that if I have to write what is, I have to discard this statement and say, now I'm not talking about Dalton. I'm talking about the modern atomic theory, right?
Yes,
For
ma'am.
doing so, I will retain the first statement that all form of matter is made up of atoms,
Yes, ma'am.
right? And I said I will not take this one. The modern scientists do not believe it. What is the reason behind it? This-
Because different element has different kind of properties. So that properties comes because of these atoms. For example, some are radioactive and some are non-reactive.
No. I
So
think it is you may be trying to say correct thing, Chitesh, but it is not being conveyed as you want to tell me. See what we said. What are the isotopes? For the benefit of class, if anyone can define what are isotopes.
Isotopes are similar chemical properties. They have same atomic mass but different mass number.
Isotopes are atoms of
Same atomic mass.
same element having different mass number. That means, I think we did that. Hydrogen has 3 isotopes: protium, deuterium, and tritium. We talked about C12, C13, C14. We did that, na? Or not? What does that mean? Or what does that show? all three of this are carbon atoms. But what are they? They are not identical in size. They do not have identical mass, and they will not show identical physical properties. As Jitesh was saying, some of them are radioactive, some are not, right? So what are they? They are atoms of same element having difference in properties. At least some of the properties are different. They have different mass number. Is it making sense to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
That atoms of a given element may not be identical in size, mass, and other properties. If I have to write it for modern atomic theory, I will be writing elements R I will just delete. I will strike out this R, and then what we will say? We will say may not be. Right? Moving to the next point. Atoms cannot be subdivided or created or destroyed. Do we agree with it?
Yes, ma'am. I agree. Atoms are-
You agree? What about the others?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What happened? What happens at sun? What is the source of energy of sun? What was the
Helium.
yeah. Please say.
I should say the process of energy production.
There is a formula E is equal to mc square, right? Have you heard about it?
Yes, ma'am.
What does that mean?
Ma'am, energy is equal to mass into speed of light square.
Square. Does that tell us that E is equal to mc square means that energy can be converted into mass, or mass can be converted into energy? Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So atom can be, they are subdivided into proton, electron, and neutron. They can be created or they can be destroyed. Tritium is a radioactive isotope of hydrogen. It can be created in the laboratory. They can be created or destroyed. To understand this, we have two things. One is nuclear fission, and the other one is nuclear fusion. This is fission and this is fusion. Fission means breaking down. The example is the bombardment which happened on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Uranium, the symbol is U. When uranium element is bombarded with neutrons, it produces smaller elements, atom of a smaller element like, what is this? What is this element? Ba is a symbol of, anybody knows that symbol? Barium, this is a symbol of
Barium.
barium. And Kr, this is a symbol of this is krypton. And large amount of heat or energy is being given out, right? Some mass of uranium converts into energy, which destroys the entire cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? Similarly, this is fission. That is, fission means fission. If you must have studied biology in class 10th, take a clue from there. Binary fission, multiple fission, right? Talking about fusion. Fusion means unite hona. to be united together. So this is the source of energy of sun. At sun, what happens? Two atoms of hydrogen combine to give you helium plus energy. If you have some interest in geography, you might have heard the age of sun is fagging away. It is almost at the dead end. It is reaching, or although it may still take some lakhs of years, but the sun has seen its best. Now it is being deteriorating, right? So these are the examples where we say it does not happen in a chemical reaction. Atom cannot be created or destroyed. This rule is applicable only to chemical reaction. But when we talk about the nuclear reaction, in which, remember, in chemical reaction, the participating species is valence shell electron or most loosely bonded electrons, right? Not all the electrons, but only the valence shell or the most loosely bounded electrons take part in a chemical reaction. But if we talk about the nuclear reaction, remember, nucleus participate. It is nucleus which divides into two parts, or two nucleuses join together to produce a larger atom. Is it making sense to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what I was trying to tell you is that we can expect a multiple choice question or a paragraph based question written very nicely under giving you various information. You may be asked to write what is common between them with the help of a paragraph, or maybe they give you A, B, C, D, E, 5 statements are there, and they tell you that pick the one which are relevant for Daltons or which are common to both of them. Even if you know Dalton in class 9th, this is a high time that we understand it in a different perspective, right? Is it clear? The point number 4, atoms can be divided. That is very clear. We have to say when we are talking about this nuclear reaction, or even without that, we can say, or we know it very well, that atom can be divided. We will delete this word when I am writing for modern atomic theory. Atom can be divided into proton, electron, and neutron, and it can be destroyed or created during a nuclear reaction, right? Now coming to the last point, atoms of different elements can combine in simple whole number ratios to form chemical compounds. Again, it is incorrect. I believe most of you must be using those stainless steel or a steel material as a what do you call it, as bowl or a plate, right? What is a
Yes,
steel?
ma'am.
What is a steel? Can anybody tell me what is a steel? See, steel mainly has, this is a symbol of, Fe is a symbol of
Iron.
iron, correct. It is a mixture, it is a iron carbon. It may have certain chromium, and Mn is symbol of,
Manganese.
correct. So it is mixture of these 4 or maybe much more elements, maybe sometimes this element. Again, Ni is the symbol of
Nickel.
nickel. So it may have variable amount of these. That is the reason sometimes you find the steel container is slightly blackish in color, or sometimes when it comes, it is very, very bright in color, closer to silver type of a thing. So what happens in steel is when steel is formed, let's say iron is a bigger molecule, and as a result, the intermolecular spaces, the space between two atoms of this row, this is the space, is pretty large. So that what happens, that carbon atom is trapped between this, right? They do not actually chemically combine. That is the reason the formula, if somebody asks me the formula of steel, can be, say, iron 0.3 or rather 2.34, carbon 0.59, right? That means atoms may or may not combine in a simple whole number ratio. Is it clear? That how that atoms of different elements can combine in simple whole number ratios to form chemical compounds? Not always. Right? So this can has to be replaced may by may or may not. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So with this, we finish up this section. Have you started doing questions from your NCERT book? Or
Yes,
how
ma'am.
many of you practice it or not?
Yes, ma'am, I'm practicing.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone should do the questions in writing. That will help you in clarifying your concepts and making you write correctly, right? So we have covered the mole concept to an extent. Again, when we go to stoichiometry in maybe next or next to next class, that time by that time that mole concept has to be thorough with each one of you, else you may not be able to understand the 100% of the remaining concepts, right? So you need to revise the mole concept and Dalton's atomic theory and modern atomic theory separately, right? So with that, we end the class, and tomorrow you have a class at 11 in the morning, right?
Ma'am, at what time?
I think I have an intimation of 11. You can check at the center, but to the best of my knowledge, it is 11 to 12. Because Monday, I believe you have a certain test schedule, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it? I don't know which subject, but the test is there for all of you. That you know or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So I think there is a class tomorrow at 11. Check with the center and then please attend the class, right? And in the meantime, keep revising the concepts.
Okay, ma'am.
So, please keep on studying and enjoying the subjects till we meet again. Okay, good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.